It's exciting stuff with the draft just a couple days away. Well, get this. The Ravens now have 2 late first-round picks after trading away offensive lineman Orlando Brown to the Chiefs. Former scout and NFL Network draft analyst Bucky Brooks believes that the Ravens should trade up to draft a quarterback like Justin Fields if he falls low enough on Thursday. Brooks believes they could bring in Fields while Lamar Jackson plays out his rookie deal without having to extend his contract and then move on to Fields as the starter. So this is interesting. Shannon, should the Ravens trade up for a QB?
Hell no. Lamar Jackson just won the MVP 2 years ago. He was a unanimous MVP selection. Is he as a polished of a passer and quarterback as you'd like? No, but he's improving. I think if you I think what Lamar really needs is a big body receiver, Skip, that his catch radius, so Lamar doesn't have to be so perfect. We saw the leaps and bounds that Josh Allen made when they got him a #1 receiver in Stephon Diggs. We see what they do, what Patrick Mahomes has around him. We see what Tom Brady, how he looked when he got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, as opposed to Julian Edelman and those guys he had his last year in New England.
You could throw Antonio Brown.
Yeah. So, Skip, for me, take a quarterback? When you got an MVP quarterback on you, I've never heard this before. I got an MVP that's 25 years of age on my roster, but I'm going to take another guy. And so when his contract is up, I'll insert the rookie quarterback that I drafted in 2021. Not knowing, I know what I got. If Lamar Jackson does not win another MVP, he's a MVP caliber quarterback every single year.
Yep.
Are we sure that's what Justin Fields is going to be? Are we hoping that's what he is? Are we sure that's what Trey Lance is going to be? Are we hoping that's what he is? I know for a fact Lamar Jackson's hands are going to be in the MVP discussion every year, solely because of his legs and because he can throw the ball. Skip, he's not Drew Brees. He's not one of these great throwers of the football, but he's getting better. He did lead the NFL in touchdown passes one year. He threw 36. He threw 36 touchdowns. So there's no way I would take a quarterback. And I don't believe a quarterback's going to be available. They're picking 31 and 25, 26?
But you do have the ammo now that you
to move up.
Yep.
No, that flies in the face of everything that the Ravens, how they normally do business. I don't see them moving those 2 picks. I believe if they move anything, they're going to move those picks and go get a receiver that can help Lamar, help what they are build out what they already have. There's no way I would take a quarterback.
Yeah, you being the Hall of Famer you are, I have listened when many Mondays you've sat right there in that chair and you've had some issues with Lamar's ability to throw the football.
Let me ask you a question. Which one of these guys in college, Justin Fields or Trey Lance, had a better college career than Lamar Jackson?
Okay, but no. You're taking yourself off the hot seat because you have been doubtful about his ability to throw.
I said consistently. I didn't say he couldn't throw. I said consistently he misses throw.
You've gotten into it with Michael Vick occasionally on the show about, come on, we got to see more.
So we just gonna throw. So we just gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you have had your issues.
Skip, but I got my issues with Trey Lance and Justin Fields. At least I know what Lamar Jackson can do at the NFL level.
Okay.
We have not seen them throw an NFL ball in an NFL game yet.
Okay. I know Bucky Brooks a little. I know his draft work a lot. And when he does speak, I listen and I think about it. And by the way, we're going to have Bucky on as our draft analyst later this week. I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so that he will help us delve a little deeper into this and other draft matters. And I am looking very forward to having him on. I am with you. There's no way that I would give up on Lamar at this point. I have had my own concerns about his ability to consistently throw deeper passes. He's a dart thrower, and he is a really good dart thrower. And when he got hot, he stayed hot for the whole season 2 years ago, 2019. And he ran away with MVP. And to your point, he threw 36 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions, and he led the whole league in QBR. It's hard to do that. You cannot take that away from this still very young man. So what happened to the Ravens last year? They got COVID racked and wrecked. It was one thing after another. It seemed like the whole team was down and out, and they're getting their games pushed back to Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or whatever it was. It was craziness. And then all of a sudden, they caught fire when they got through the COVID madness. And they won their last, won 6, including the playoff game at Tennessee. And Lamar finally won a playoff game. That was a big breakthrough for him.
And he was sensational.
He was sensational. So then they go to Buffalo, and he wasn't very good, but the wind was galing. And I told you, I picked Baltimore to win that game. They were down 17-3 going to the fourth. And you know what happened on the final play of the third quarter? He got concussed. He got whiplash concussed up against the carpet. And that was the end of him for the rest of that game. They were about to have downwind fourth quarter, and I thought he could have rallied them. Remember, he threw the one ball. They got picked in the end zone and run back, whatever it was, 102 yards. It was absurd. And that's what made it 17. It was going to be a 10-3 game. Okay. So here's my problem with your idea of needs the big catch radius receiver. Mark Andrews is really good, and I watched all of him at Oklahoma too, and he's 6'5", 256.
But
so he's got a big catch radius, bigger than you're giving him credit for.
No, Skip. I'm talking about for the guy outside the numbers.
Okay, that I agree with you, because you've had your tight end, and you've had other tight ends. They had Hayden Hurst in the MVP year, and then he went to Atlanta, obviously, but still had Nick Boyle last year. But there's a gap in the middle because Hollywood's just icing on the cake. Because really, about all he can do is run by people, and he can really run by people. But you don't have that go-to, that number one receiver. You don't have Chris Godwin. You don't even have Mike Evans. You don't have that guy.
DeAndre Hopkins or Julio.
Or Stephon Diggs.
A guy that puts fear. We know he's going to get somewhere between 8 and 10 targets. And he's a threat anytime to break the game wide open.
Because Willie Snead's pretty good, but he's not that. He's a number 3.
And he's gone now. He's in Oakland.
I got it. But I'm saying in the MVP year, he was pretty good. But now you need, and this draft, listen, I've been reading deeper and deeper. It is so stacked and stocked with wide receivers. It's laughable how much. I consider Kyle Pitts a wide receiver, but obviously we talk about Jamar and Devontae and Jalen Waddle, and then here we go.
If you want to package those guys and go up to get Kyle Pitts, okay, fine.
Maybe.
But the thing is, for me, I just believe with what Lamar has shown you and his ability to get better every year throwing the ball is that put another piece around him, a piece or two around him, and let's see what we have.
Okay, well, remember, in that MVP year, Lamar also ran wild that year for 1,200 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns. It's impossibly great, and that's what put him over the top to be the runaway MVP.
He had another 1,000 yards last year.
I got it. And they led the league in rushing, which is not all bad. They also led the league in fewest pass attempts because they're just running the ball because they can.
Skip, the thing is, if I'm getting 5, 6, 7 yards a clip, I'm running the ball for 300 yards, 290 yards.
What would you do? You just keep running it, right? Okay?
Yes, that's what I would keep doing.
Led the league.
Yes, but I just don't. I can see if Lamar was struggling. If Lamar was had a season like the guy that just traded from the Jets, Skip, his name's Sam Darnold. He had a season like that. Okay, Skip, I was like, I don't know. We don't know. Skip, the guy's been to the playoffs every year he started.
Is he a great thrower of the football? No. But is he a very good one? Yes.
I believe with another receiver, a bigger body receiver. Skip, that's what they tried to do. Remember, they signed Dez. They tried to get Dez, a big body guy that can come up and catch contested 50-50 balls. I like Hollywood, but the 50-50 balls at 5'9", I don't know about all that.
I don't either. I agree. But in the end, look, I told you, I love Trey Lance. I